Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel, and this week we're going to be looking at painting up the Necroplex toxic pool to go with our build we did last week of the compound. So let's get to the table. We're going to grab a needle file and just sand off the little points you get where the extruder leaves the print. PLA is quite hardly when it's printed, so it takes a file in no problem. Right, that'll do for that. Just grab a bit of sandpaper. I think most of this will cover up when we paint it, the way we're going to paint it. Right, we're going to grab some cheap Poundland epoxy. Right, somehow we've sort of ended up with more of one than the other. That'll do. Put it back up. Dump that back on there. Right, so now that's the hard nut. It's about the same. Good mix. I'm just going to use this to smooth out the larger bubbles. So just grab it and work it on. There we go. And just work it around. It does self sort of smooth a little bit, which is quite nice. Right, there we go. Right, now our epoxy's dried up, these are nice and smooth. We're going to give this a quick coat of black, so I'll go and get that done. Right, we've got a palette, a bit of burnt umber and a bit of orange at the side. We'll just work around the barrels and paint them up with the burnt umber. This is like we used for the walls previously. So just make sure you're getting all the gaps, get the little railings on the pipe. There you go. So there you have it, and then it's on to the next stage to add the rust. So when we come to the rust, we'll get our orange, mix it in a bit with the burnt umber, and back to our sponging technique again. So we'll just sponge over so you get some highlights of the rusty orange. Just work our way around. Oh, needs a bit more orange. If it's not bright enough, just add a bit more. Just get it to how you think it should look. Right, once that's dry, I'm going to hit it with some standard hairspray. So just get some hairspray, you're going to hit these barrels, a couple of barrels there, and we're going to grab some sea salt. Not to turn it a little bit. Right, I'm going to go airbrush and we're going to do some blue. Just going to put a little drop in, don't need much. That should probably do the job. Just spray it into a piece of card, see how it's working. That looks good to me. So we're going to do the barrels. Oh, a little bit of splatter. So just going to overspray these barrels. Just work our way around them. Don't worry about going over too much on the edge. We can touch it up with a bit of black paint. There we go. So, that's the first one. Right, on to the next lot. Right, I couldn't find any red airbrush paint, so I mixed up some craft paints and thinners. And just testing the card, there you go, it's fine. This is the second coat over the pipe. and it works absolutely fine using craft paint. Everything's dry, just get a damp brush or a damp toothbrush, even better, but I couldn't find one, and just brush over all the paint areas. This will chip off the salt, giving you a chip effect. Everything's dry, and then just give it a dry brush of Necron compound to add a bit of a silvery look to it, just to make it pop a little bit more. So just work your way around all the pieces. Got some FW ink and thinned it right down. It needs to be very thin, surprised how strong this ink is. Also drop your brush pressure down to about 8. It's probably still a little bit high here. And just work your way around. This just helps blend all the rust up and adds more of a subtle look. So we'll just work around the barrels, etc. Once everything's dry, we're just going to give the pipes and the barrel a coat of matte or satin varnish, whatever your preference is. We do it at this stage so we don't dull down the gloss effect of the toxic pool itself when we come to paint that. Once your varnish is dry, we're just going to get some fairly dark green paint. It's going to be our base coat. We just work this around all the black area of where the toxic pool is. Make sure you get into the gaps against the pipe and the barrels. Just work your way around. Use an old brush for this, so you don't destroy it with the ripples in the print. Right, once our dark green's dry, we're going to get some Mod Podge gloss, pour it on your palette. We'll get some green paint, and we'll add that to it. Some fairly bright green, some bright yellow. Just give it a swirl, don't mix it up properly. More yellow, there you go. And we'll just coat the whole area. We've just painted green with this, just working around. This also helps level out some of the print marks. The ones that are left actually do help with the wash and that. We actually use a print in our favour for once, instead of trying to cover them up completely. This will show where the bubbles are, which you did with the resin, will be nice and smooth, so you don't get the print lines all down them and make it look a bit funny. So I'm just touching up bits as I go around. And this is where I thought, hang on, I should have stood this on something, so please note, put a couple of coins or something underneath it before doing this, or you will stick it to the paper. Luckily, I remembered to lift it before it stuck. Right, once your first coat is completely dry, we're going to repeat the process, but this time we've added a bit more yellow to the paint. We're aiming for the higher areas, top of the bubbles that we coated with the epoxy earlier on, and we'll just work our way around. This will help smooth out any more prints and lighten up a few places. Next up, I'll wash with some matte medium, some green ink, a little bit of brown ink to give like a turquoisey, green, blue sort of colour. And we're just filling in all the recesses with this, just to add a bit more of a ripple effect. The wash is dry. What I'm doing now is I've just got some more Mod Podge gloss, just a hint of yellow, just so it tints it. And I'm just giving that a final coat over the top. It just was not toxic enough for me. I like things to really pop and glow. Sometimes overdo the colours to overemphasize them so they stand out more from a distance on the table. So we're just working our way around. As you can see, I'm using the flat of the brush almost here to pick out the tops. So I'm not getting down to the recesses, so I'm not covering up the wash and some of the other tones we did earlier on. So we'll just whack around and get that finished. Nearly there. So see, it's starting to really pop out a bit more now. And there you have it. Right, there you have it. How I painted up the toxic pool. As you can see, it fits perfectly into our compound we did last week and looks nice and yucky. Right, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share, subscribe, whack the bell for notifications. And I'm going to start cracking on with another bit. So I will see you all soon. Take care. Cheers. Oh, using old brushes has its issues.